Violin tutor. Today is a tutorial on One Direction's I Want. It's a really cool song actually, with a really good piano, really good fun piano part. This was a requested tutorial from my tutorial request video. I think someone had said that they just wanted any song by One Direction, and I thought I Want was a really good one because it's nice and upbeat and it's nice and fun. I just want to start off by saying actually that this is more, I guess, of an advanced tutorial, just helping you out on a few little bits and a few extra kind of techniques and things. This isn't a tutorial where I'm going to sit there and I'm going to tell you which notes in order that I've played exactly on the piano. I just don't think they're really good tutorials. I don't think they teach you anything. They're certainly not the proper way to learn anyway. So I'd really rather that you guys at least had some music in front of you, and that in conjunction with the knowledge that you have in your head of how the song goes. You know, if you know the song really well also, that helps. But having some knowledge of the piano, some knowledge of music added together with that it can really help. I mean, even if you can't read the actual music, you know, that's kind of what I'm here to help you with as well. But you can at least use the music as a blueprint. So if you're thinking that I'm going to sit there and tell you that, you know, it's 4 Fs and then an A, then don't watch the video, because it isn't going to be like that. This is more of an advanced, I guess, tutorial, just helping you guys out on more of the finer points of the music. I just wanted, I'm going to start by saying that we're in the key of A minor, and at the start the timing looks a little bit weird, I guess. It says here that you've got, it should be 126 beats per minute, which, you know, is the speed of the song, so that you all know anyway. It's also got 2 quavers equal to a triplet, crotchet and a quaver. I've written that, I have just written it down for you on here so you can see, so I don't have to bring my 6-page music up to the camera and bring it down again. But that is what's written at the front of the music. It just basically means that it's just got more of a I want, it's just got more of a kind of, more of a roll to it, more of a bouncy feel to it. So rather than playing it as straight quavers, which means it isn't going to sound right if you try to play it exactly as written. For example, if you didn't know the song, When I first looked at that, when I first looked at the music, I thought, oh, that isn't exactly how they sing it. But then I noticed that you've got the two quavers equal a triplet, which gives it more, it just means it gives it more of a bouncy feel. And then I played it that way. I thought, oh yes, that does actually make sense. So that's that. But I mean, at the end of the day, if you know how the song goes anyway, then that shouldn't be a problem, and you'll probably automatically sort of do it in that kind of bouncy rhythm anyway. Right, so the chord structure is, sorry, my notes had fallen on the floor. The chord structure, you've got 3 main chords through the whole piece. It's actually a very clever song. There aren't actually very many chords involved, but it's the combination of the chords, it's the technique that they've used. This is written words and music by Tom Fletcher, so it is very clever. It's just very catchy, and having that octave, having the octave start with the catchy tune is actually very good. So it is very well written. It's a really good pop song. So there are your 3 main chords: A minor, F major, and C major. So the verse is made up of A minor, the chord A minor chord, F chord, C chord, and then a G chord bridges it to the second part of the verse, which is A minor, B major, going to E major. So the verse is A minor, F and C, and then the second part of the verse is A minor, B and E chord. For the chorus, you've got F and G, and then A minor, G and F. So I mean, it's just a combination of A minor, F major and C major chord, just those 3 chords. You've only got a B major and an E major just added in on the second half of the verse, whenever that pops up. So those are the chords that you're going to be using all the way through. It's just octave kind of vamping with the left hand. Okay, so I've chosen to do more of an accompaniment. So this would be really good if I was actually singing it myself, or if somebody else was singing it I wanted to play. So if you notice at the start when I played it all through for you, I wasn't actually playing the tune of that with my right hand. I was playing the accompaniment, so I would expect someone to be singing over the top, or if you want to accompany yourself with that. So this tutorial differs a little bit by that way as well, because I'm not actually doing the tune in the right hand. This is literally a piano accompaniment part. So I've got 3 parts on this. I've got the vocal line at the top, and then I've got the piano part. I say 3 lines, the piano part is actually 2, counts as 1. So really I've got 2 lines, I guess, the vocal part and the piano part, and I'm literally just playing the piano accompaniment for you. I did actually have the backing track of that going on as well in the background. I'd got rid of the piano part in that so I could play that, so I didn't double up anything, and I also got rid of the main singer as well, so you could hear my piano accompaniment part as well. So it starts off with just octaves in the left hand. The octaves in the left hand just really mimic the chord that it's moving to. So if it starts on an A minor chord, you're just octaves 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, as you know the signature tune is. When it changes to F, then so you're just going along as it's telling you. So when the chords are changing, your octaves are changing as well. Your chords in the right hand are matching that also. Depending on if you can read music or not will depend on whether you'll see the difference between the chords. But sometimes the chords are just swapping about. So to start with, it has an A minor chord, starting with A at the bottom, then C in the middle, E at the top. But later on, when you've got an A minor chord, it slightly moves where it starts with a middle C at the bottom, and then an E, and then an A at the top. It doesn't really matter once you've got everything else going on around it. You know, if you're playing as part of a band or what have you, or somebody's singing, it really isn't going to make any difference. An A minor chord's an A minor chord, whether you've got an A at the bottom or an A at the top, or some of the notes are jumbled around, it doesn't really matter. It's still, as long as you get the chord right, that's absolutely fine. A bit later on as well, you're adding in some extra notes with the octave. So it just starts off with, but then later on, some just a few octave notes. Again, you're keeping that rather than keep it bouncy. So it's almost as if the higher of the octave note, the lower of the octave note is coming with the chord, and the higher of the octave note is coming in between. So again, depending on whether you can read music will determine when you put in an octave note and when you don't. I mean, I may have ad-libbed a little bit on that, but nobody can really tell what was going on. It depends how accurate this piano part is to what they actually did in the band. You know, it doesn't really matter. You're just talking about one note difference. Just at the end of the first chorus, when it goes back to the second verse, you've got everything you need, but you want accessories. Got to hold it in that part there. You've got a triplet E major chord, which I believe the electric guitar plays as well. So it's just an E major chord, and I'm playing two notes of the chord at the same time. So I'm starting with an E and a G sharp, and then I'm playing a G sharp and a B, and then a B and an E, and then an E and a G sharp, and then a G sharp and a B. And I think if I could fit it in, I was doing a B and an E at the top as well. Yeah, I was doing that. So I'm just, an E major chord is made up of E, G sharp and B. That comes second time around as well, just before you go into the instrumental part. So that comes just before that part there as well. Which actually leads me quite nicely into that section. It's up to you if you want to play the instrumental part as well. If you've got other members of a band playing, then you may or may not want to do that. You might just want to play just sort of octave notes there in the bottom just to keep something going, or maybe just continue on with the chords. Or play the guitar part if you want to. So when you get to that part there, you've got triplets on an E major chord. It's quite fast, so you're going to have to play pretty fast. You're trying to fit 3 notes per chord. Okay, so that's nothing really exciting there. If you want to just hit a few E major chords, that's absolutely fine. The next section as well, which is a softer section here. So all I did there was just play the chord in my left hand, and I played the tune 2 E's above middle C. So actually the 3rd E above middle C. Sorry, my mistake. And I'm literally just playing the I want, but that's crazy tune, just in my right hand there. I think I might have added a few extra notes in my right hand as well to try and mimic the chord. But I mean, I think I ad-libbed there as well. It doesn't really matter. This sort of thing isn't like a classical piece of music where you have to do exactly what it says anyway. It's you know, you can ad-lib and you can sort of add your own little bits and bobs as long as you don't kind of mangle the piece up completely. So then it just goes back into the chorus again, which is just okay, and that's all the way, that's the same as what it has been all the way before. And then we get to the very end, and it doesn't say so in my piano part, but in the vocal part I had which is just the vocal part singing that. I just played that with the piano just so it sort of sounded nice when I had it with the backing track, so it ended quite nicely. I think that's everything I need to mention with that. Oh, I think just before it goes into the last chorus again, just at the end of the softer section, you've got some more triplets in the left hand, which are octave A's. They're actually quite difficult to fit in. So it's octaves, but you've got to fit them into threes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then be ready to go into the next part. So it's just fast more than anything. You know, if you just did fast octaves, you don't necessarily have to do it in triplets and things as well. I can't think of anything else that I need to mention with this. Like I said, this is more of an advanced tutorial, just ideal for those of you that have some piano experience and tried to play it before, just maybe want to suss a few things out or not. Or maybe you just wanted to just see my performance at the start of the video. Whatever, check out my other videos. I hope this has maybe helped someone. Even if it's helped one person, then that's great. That's what I'm after. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.